Okay, today I will walk you over SAP Assignment 7 on loading master data. In the past assignments, we have created fact tables, dimension tables, and then we have also designed our star schema. Now it is time for us to load the master data in our tables. The customer master data has been supplied by the SAP Center. We have to just take care of the material master data. Okay, so we start our assignment now. In order to do that, you have to log on to SAP. So I will use for this assignment my login ID, which is LU000. From here I will go to data warehousing workbench. And I have to go to data flows. Okay. Then from curriculum 3, I have to go to master copy and then I have to find out LU for MU67. So which is here. When I expand, I can see all the data flows associated with our login ID. So I will take LU000. You take your own login ID. Okay. So first I have to create the data flow. So I will right click here. I will go to create data flow. And here I have to type in MU67 DFMD and then my login ID, which is 000, and then here I have to 67 000, then data flow master data. Okay, I create. Now I have to add my material info object. In order to do that, I have to find out info object icon, which is this one, and drag and drop it into the template. Okay. Then I right click on the top node and I choose use existing object. Let me search for MU67 star and then enter your login ID. Mine is 000 and then let's search for it. And I will double click on MU67 MA000. You choose your own login ID, material, info object. That brings me here. at this point I have to take a screenshot and paste it in my Word document. Okay, next I have to have the master data load file. Where is that file? That file is actually it's given to you along with the assignment. So let me go there. It's week 13. And SAP 7. So you see, this is the file. Okay, so and save that file. You can open it. Save it in my documents. Okay, so save it in my documents. Okay, so here you can check just to see that you have all the different bike types, and all other, like material number, product category, division, internal price, sales price, color, components, they are all given. Okay, so basically download the file and save it in my documents. Okay, then let's go back again. I have to create data source now. So I need to navigate to data source. Okay, after I do that, choose source system, come here, go to file, choose PC file. Okay, now expand UABI curriculum 3 master copy. Actually not. From here look for the LU node with ZMU 67. So this is the LU node with ZMU 67. So click on that and then right click, create data source. Here type in the root MU67, then DSMD, and then your login ID 000. Source system is PC file and data source data type is master data attributes, and then you can just run it. Okay, here in the general information tab, you have to enter in the medium description MU67, then your own login ID, then material master data, that's all. Okay, next go to the extraction tab. In the extraction tab, make sure that direct access is allowed. Okay, then I need to go to I need to be able to map to my file where I have saved my data. So I need to click on here, go to my documents, because that's the place where I have saved my data that needs to be loaded. Okay, so let me try here in documents. Yeah, see, this is my file. So I choose that. I open. Okay, and then header rows to be ignored, I just do 1. Then the data format is separated with separator, and then I need these here, and then for conversational language I use master record, and for the number format I use direct input, and then I have a period and a comma. Okay, next I go to the proposal tab. In the proposal tab, let me just click on load example data and see if it is working. Allow, and remember my decision and allow. Okay, so it's loading. Then I need to go to, okay, at this point let me save my result, and then I go to the fields tab. It's not asking me anything, so I just leave it like that, and then I go to the preview tab. In the preview tab I read preview data. It asks me to activate, and I will do that. If it asks me to allow, I will allow, and then this one shows up. Okay, now so you can see that the data from the file that I saved in my documents has loaded here, and please take a screenshot of this and paste it in your Word document. Next thing that I have to do is I have to assign data source to data flow. Okay, I have created the data flow, I have created the data source. I have to now assign the data source to data flow. So I have to go back to data flows. So I double click on here. Okay, let me click here. Now here, sorry, double click here. Okay, so I need to come here. Okay, then I have to take the data source icon and drag and drop it. It's not letting me drag and drop because I have to change it. It's in the display mode. So I change it. Now I can do it. Then drag and drop it here, the data source. Next I have to create transformation. In order to do this, I have to click on the data source object. Okay, and then draw an arrow from the data source box to the attributes box. So I draw from here to here, then I double click on the arrow, Okay, so object type is info object, and here I have the right one. Attributes, I have that data source as mu67, then ds md000, and I have source system specified. Okay, so I run it. Okay, then I have to map it. In order to map it, I need to go from material number to material. Okay, components to components, color to color, sales price to sales price, internal price to transfer price, product category to product category. Okay, and then I have to take a screenshot at this point before I save and activate it. Okay, so take a screenshot now and then save your work and activate it. Now let me go back to the data flow screen. Now at this point I have to create the data transfer process. Okay, in order to do that, I have to draw an arrow from the data source box to the attributes box again. Okay, and double click that, and here all I need to do is continue. So now I have the change data transfer process. So I have to select full in the extraction mode. Do not extract from PSA. That's all I have to do. Make sure that my file is rightly mapped from my documents where I saved it, and at this point I have to activate it. Just continue. Okay. Click on execute and click the execute tab, and then the data transfer process begins. So process successfully. Do you want to display? Yes. And then you can see this. Now if you expand, so you will see that the data transfer is successful, and you need to take a screenshot of this showing that everything worked fine. So all material attributes have been updated. Okay, so take a screenshot and then navigate back to the data flow diagram. Go back here. Okay, right click your material info object. Okay, here Maintain master data from the menu. Don't need to do anything else, just execute. At this point, you will see that the description is only empty, but we have another occasion to fill in that. And you need to take a screenshot of your loaded attributes and paste it in your Word document. Okay, so you take a screenshot and you have noticed that the medium description there, the material description is not loaded. So now it will be our work to load descriptions there. So we have to do data flow, change data flow. In order to do that, we have to go back again to data flows. Okay. Right click on your data flow. Okay, so I'm here, then I right click, I do change, just say yes and move on. Then I draw an arrow from the material data source to material text. Okay. And then I double click it to create the transformation box. And here I will type in MU67 DSMD000 and my source is PC file, and I click on this. Okay, now I have to map. In order to do that, I have to map material description to description. Okay, so material description to description, and then the language, I have to double click on that, and then I have to create the rule definition for that. So here I just have to make the rule type constant. The constant value is EN, and I have to click transfer values. Okay, at this point you have to take a screenshot of the transformation map and paste it in your Word document. There is a change in the icon next to language. You can see it got changed to EN. That's it. So take a screenshot of this. Now activate the transformation, and you can then go back to the data flow screen here. Now we have to create a data transfer process and load data. In order to do that, I double click on that. Then this is my MU67 DSMD000. This is PC file. I run it. Okay, I have already done it. Sorry, I don't have to do it anymore. I just have to create the data transfer process now. So in order to do that, I think I need to go to, okay, to create the data transfer process, what I have to do is I have to change okay, let's do the data transfer this way. I have to do the data transfer process again for the material text. So I click on here, info object, look at the material attributes, the data transfer is done. Okay, but for the material text you will see the data transfer is not yet done. So look at the data transfer process, it has been created, and then I right click and then I say create data transfer process. Okay, so you see the create data transfer process is here, and then I just say okay, and it brings me here. So in extraction I have to change it to full. I have to click on do not extract from PSA, and then I go to execute and I have to activate. Just say yes, I execute, allow. Okay, so now you can see that your processing is complete. Okay, now you need to take a screenshot of this. Then I go back. Okay, here click here, in the text, where is our material? This is my attribute. Okay, this is my text. So I click on text, okay, here I need to come here, sorry. So now I click on here, click on the material at the top node, right click, and then I do maintain master data again. Okay, I execute. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Look at it now. You can see the description which was empty before. Now the description has been loaded. Please take a screenshot of this and paste it to your Word document, and you are done. Thank you.